Allow your breath to slow and let the world around you momentarily recede. We will now journey together into that domain of your inner world that is at once intimately familiar and profoundly bewildering. This is Psyche Unlocked, the space dedicated to deciphering the blueprint of your soul. Have you noticed a strange and painful paradox unfolding within you? After a moment of profound awakening, a shattering insight where the veils of illusion seemed to part, you expected to feel a boundless, heart-opening love for all of humanity. You are no longer just hearing words. You are perceiving the vast, unspoken wilderness beneath them. This agonizing social fatigue is not a symptom to be cured, but a sacred signal to be honored. Jung's entire life's work pointed to one great process: individuation. The journey of becoming a whole, authentic, and integrated self would argue that what you are experiencing is a necessary and holy withdrawal. Jung deeply believed in the power of symbols to communicate with the unconscious. Find or create a small physical object that represents your need for sacred solitude. You are not breaking down. You are breaking free from the exhausting tyranny of the persona. You are shedding the skin of who you thought you had to be to finally embody the person you truly are. This requires the courage to honor your own energetic truth, even when the world demands your performance. Trust this process. The world will still be there when you are ready to re-engage. But you will return to it not as a fragmented mask seeking validation, but as a whole and integrated self, capable of a new, deeper, and truly authentic connection. It could be a smooth stone, a particular crystal, a small, carved box. Before you enter a social situation you cannot avoid, hold this object for a moment. Let it be a silent contract with yourself, a promise that you will not abandon your own inner truth for the sake of social harmony. Let it remind you that your need for silence is your fount of healing. This symbolic act strengthens your ego's ability to protect your inner world. This is a profound application of his principle of enantiodromia, where an extreme state, in this case, a life lived through the external, social persona inevitably flips into its opposite, a deep inward turn toward the self, deep within your psyche. There is an archetype of the hermit, the part of you that knows the value of solitude. In a quiet, meditative state, invite this figure to come forward in your mind's eye. Do not direct it. Simply observe it. What does it look like? Where does it live within you? Then begin a dialogue. Ask it, what do you need from me right now? What truth are you protecting? How can I honor you in my daily life? This powerful Jungian technique allows you to consciously connect with the instinctual wisdom behind your impulse to withdraw, transforming it from a source of guilt into a source of profound guidance. You have not become antisocial, you have become radically pro-authenticity. The exhaustion you feel is the symptom of your soul's attempt to heal, to pull you back from a world of noise so you can finally hear its true voice. And if you wish to continue exploring the deep, challenging, and ultimately liberating path of becoming whole, be sure to subscribe to Psyche Unlocked. Because the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. You are sensing the insecurity behind another's bravado, the quiet desperation behind a forced smile, the unconscious psychic projections playing out in seemingly simple interactions. You have begun, as Jung would say, to make the unconscious conscious, not only your own, but that of those around you. You are now a psychic tuning fork, vibrating in sympathy with the hidden anxieties and unacknowledged shadows of others. This constant high bandwidth streaming of psychic data is incredibly taxing. You are not rejecting people. Your nervous system is simply overwhelmed by the raw, unfiltered truth of the human psyche. A truth that most people keep safely hidden, even from themselves. Instead, you find yourself feeling tired of people. It is a soul-deep weariness, an exhaustion so profound that even the thought of casual conversation feels like lifting a great weight. The goal is not to force yourself back into a world that feels abrasive, but to learn a new, more conscious way of engaging. Here are 3 Jungian keys to guide you. Does this leave you feeling confused, even guilty? You thought awakening was about connection, yet you find yourself craving solitude with an almost physical ache. After a social interaction that has left you feeling drained, do not simply try to forget it. Take a journal and ask your psyche these precise questions. What specific comment or behavior felt most draining to me? What part of my own being felt unseen or violated in that moment? And most importantly, what aspect of the other person's shadow did I perceive that they themselves were unaware of? This is not about judgment. This is the core Jungian practice of making the darkness conscious. By naming what you perceived, you separate it from yourself. You transform from being a victim of psychic noise into a conscious observer of the human condition. Let us step into a scene that may feel unnervingly familiar. You are sitting in a warm, inviting coffee shop with a friend you genuinely love. The air hums with the metallic hiss of the espresso machine and the murmur of a dozen conversations blending into a meaningless sonic fog. Your friend is talking, sharing details of their week, their voice full of life. But for you, the words don't quite land. They feel like small, hard pebbles being tossed against the window of your being. You nod, you force a smile, but you can feel your inner energy draining away, as if a plug has been pulled from the base of your soul. A desperate, silent scream for quiet fills your inner world. You are not angry at your friend. You're in agony from the noise, the performance, the sheer effort of existing in the shared social space. As Carl Jung himself confessed, in a statement that should echo in the heart of every seeker, "Solitude is for me a fount of healing which makes my life worth living. Talking is often a torment for me, and I need many days of silence to recover from the futility of words." What you are experiencing is not a failure or a spiritual regression. It is a profound psychological restructuring, and Jung provided us with the precise map to understand it. The primary reason for your exhaustion is the disintegration of your old social self, what Jung named the persona. The persona is the social mask, the finely tuned costume we create to be liked, accepted, and to function in the world. It is the agreeable friend, the competent professional, the easygoing acquaintance. For most of our lives, we are unconsciously fused with this mask, believing its desires and fears to be our own. Awakening, however, is a process of radical honesty. It is a fire that burns away everything that is not authentic. After your awakening, you can no longer wear the persona unconsciously. The act of performing, of engaging in conversations that don't nourish your soul, now requires a colossal expenditure of psychic energy because your truest self knows it is a lie. Your tiredness is a message of integrity from your soul, which is now rejecting the energetically bankrupt performance of the persona. Furthermore, this newfound clarity brings with it a painful, heightened sensitivity. Now listen closely, Sika, for this is the critical turning point that reframes your entire experience. So, how does one navigate this sacred yet often lonely hermitage? Practice the ritual of shadow inquiry. Create a symbol of sanctuary. Engage in active imagination with your inner hermit. This period of feeling tired of people is a profound and necessary rite of passage on the path of individuation. If this message has helped you understand the sacred journey you are on, please share your experience in the comments below.